Hey, so check this out. I didn't go to the gym today, and sometimes you just don't go to the gym. And so I didn't go, and but I did have a thought that I wanted to share just off the top of my mind. And actually earlier, I went to record this and I just didn't really do well on recording it, so I'm recording it again. And this thought is kind of it came to me, and I don't want to overthink it. I just want to share it with you. And I was having some just a moment of just stress and worry. And so I came in here to read my Bible, which, a lot of times the Bible app is the easy, convenient thing. But here lately, I've just been more attracted to getting back into my Bible because the app kind of takes certain things away from just the feel of the Bible. So I actually sat in here, and just the Bible was already open to Daniel chapter 6. And you know what? As a grown man, I don't think I've ever read like Daniel and the Lion's Den. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever read it outside of just having a story told to me. I don't think I've read, I may have cross-referenced it in preaching, but never really just sat down and read it. And for some reason, it was open to it. And so I said, all right, this got to have a point because my anxiety's high right now. I'm feeling a little stressed and worried about a few different things. And yeah, man, like I could probably preach my way out of it, but reality is stress is real, worry's real. And so, yeah, it takes a lot to fight off stress and worry, a lot of belief. And so I got to come back to the things that help me with my unbelief. And there was a line in line 16 where I was noticing this pattern that this king just loves Daniel, and Daniel has so much favor with this king. And so, but I noticed in verse 16, he says, your God, whom you consistently serve, will himself deliver you. And I didn't read that with the tone that the king was being sarcastic, anything. I don't think you can. But as I read it, I just looked at it and just was like, man, this guy had belief for Daniel. And it's not saying that Daniel didn't have belief, but I applied it to myself. It's like I've had so much favor and blessings in life that sometimes I feel like Daniel in the sense that like no matter where I've gone, God has just given me grace. He's just given me so much favor as long as I've been faithful, and he's always been faithful to me. And so I could imagine that I put myself like I just let my imagination go wild. This is why I'm sharing this thought with you. I literally put myself in the same boat as Daniel, like my situation and everything. And I just was like, look, it kind of made sense to me as to why this was just open to this. Because for me, some could argue and say I just wanted to make sense, and maybe that's true. Like I needed this truth today that my God is going to deliver me. But it says, your God himself will deliver you. And that's like, I love that verse. I love the idea of it. And so as I kept reading and I just kept looking at like I'm looking down at this now, and it's so many different little pieces that I highlighted that just helped me through this moment. But the key factor is because Daniel was so faithful, the people around Daniel who did not even have the same exact belief system, they had faith. And I look at that from my own life, and it's a lot of people who don't believe in God the same way that I believe, who don't believe in the same things, but they know that I'm going to make it. They know that everything's going to be all right. They have more faith sometimes just based off of the actions that they've seen. And so for me, if it's the place that I'm in right now, emotionally, financially, and all these other things that are stressing me and worrying me, sometimes if I'm here and this is like my lion's den, I know that God himself is going to deliver me and it's going to bring me out of it. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to continue to stress. I'm not saying it as a magic wand, like poof, now all of a sudden everything feels good and everything feels great. No, there's still a lot of work that I got to do. There's still a lot of hustling I got to do. And sometimes you see a mountain and you know it's your job to move it. And you know God is giving you all power and authority to move it. You got to move it. And there's a lot of things that a lot of obstacles in my way. And I know that with hard work, I'm going to look up one day and those mountains are going to be moved. I know 100% that God is going to do it for me and with me. Like I'm not alone. Like he's going to empower me. So I love this. Verse 27, it says, he delivers and rescues. Like this is the king actually just declaring who Daniel's God is. And with all his dominion and authority, he's just turning it over and saying God has more. So for me, I hope that for everything that I'm going through, for every single thing that I'm seeing, that it helps strengthen someone else's faith, that it helps bring someone else to a point where they believe even more so than I believe. And I hope that it's someone with even more influence than me that gets a chance to just know that they're going to be all right, that it's going to be all right, and that, that God is a living God, that he's a God that actually cares about us. So often, sometimes I have these thoughts where it's just like, man, I want to share good news or something that lifts me up. and I don't do it. Sometimes I just overthink it. So today is another one of those days where I'm like, let me just start getting these thoughts out. Let me just share with the world and just see where it's at, because it's easy to just get caught up in work. It gets easy to just forget that maybe somebody else needs an encouraging word today. Maybe someone else, can be lifted up, because I know in this very moment, if it wasn't for this Bible just being open, that I absolutely needed some encouragement, but I wasn't finding it in social media. I wasn't finding it anywhere else. Not sending in people out there preaching and saying positive things on social media. I just wasn't finding it at the moment. But I found it here, so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. Listen, keep striking, keep moving, keep pushing. One of the biggest mistakes that I can honestly say, as I'm just sharing the thoughts on the top of my mind, one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in life is not continuously pushing. Last time I recorded one of these, I think I mentioned like the idea of just not becoming like a firecracker kind of person where like poof, that's it. But also not finding condemnation if I have done that. One thing about keeping it pushing and keeping it moving is you may not necessarily be doing something that's big and elaborate, but you know what? You gotta still continuously move in the direction you're supposed to go. And so for me, I got a lot of fundraising that I need to be doing so that I can continue my mission here. For me, I've got a lot of work that I need to do to continue practicing my craft and continue to get better at this, videography and audio recording and creating podcasts and creating content. This is something I want to be great at. I want to make great movies. I don't want to just continuously throw out good ideas and they never get completed. I don't want to be known as just the idea guy. I want to actually have a product that, makes people proud to know that like, hey, man, I saw when this guy was just going through it and he hadn't even completed anything yet. And he was just sharing his crazy thoughts now, and he's enabling other people to use media to share their thoughts and make it through. So I know that I'm going to make it. I know God's placed me here for a reason. He's put a hunger, a desire, and a need right there in front of me. And if this is my season to be in that lion's den, I know he's going to shelter me, and he's going to actually deliver me from any danger, any hurt, harm, or anything that can come my way. So continuously, pray for me and my family. And as usual, like if you see, like there's a link in my Instagram bio, or anytime, you can help out, share, do whatever you got to do. All right. But I didn't come here to do that. I just felt like off the top of my mind, I still have to be responsible to just share some of those things, because the stress, worries, and anxieties of just starting a new business and just trying to start new ministries and do things can get tough sometimes. So I just wanted to make sure I checked in too, because I also want you guys that have invested in me so far to know that I'm still pushing. Even though I'm not doing the scripture of the day the way that I was doing it before, I am still pushing with God. I'm still believing. All right. Love you guys, man. I absolutely love you. And thank you for taking the time to listen. And remember, as you go through your day, God placed love inside of you. You've got so much love inside of you. And that love that's in you is greater than anything that this hateful world can throw at you. You have to stand up and let love shine today. Get beyond your comfort zone. Get beyond your comfort zone. And please remember, hate has no place in your heart. It has no place on your tongue. Do not let it win. And if you do let it win, let love out. Let love just conquer all of the hate, even if you let a little bit of hate out. All right. Don't give hate. Always give love. Remember, because hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. All right. Remember, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I almost said, remember, hate. I almost repeated what I said again. So I'm going to say it again one more time for good measure. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. Love you guys.